It's Karen Chalmers. I'm the marketing director of Big Blue Bubble, and the game is Foregone.
And could you give us an overview of what Foregone is about?
Yeah, so Foregone's an action platformer with the gameplay that's kind of Diablo, Dark Souls, obviously visual cues that are similar to Dead Cells. You are playing the Arbiter, who is placed in the world to right the wrongs of the world, and as the story progresses, you learn kind of what your place is in the story. There's elements of time travel, there's handcrafted levels, narrative that takes you through the story, and you get to find out kind of cool twists and turns as you go along.
How many people are on your team, and how far into development is the game?
So the company has 70, but the Foregone team has about a dozen. And we've been working on this pre-alpha build for about a year. We'll be in early access by February, and console full release later into next year.
What are you hoping that people will take away when seeing or playing the game?
I think that one of the things that we really hope is that they see how fluid it is and how pretty it is, right? Like that's one of the key things that we really focused on was the graphics and the feel. I think one of the key things is that it's really old school looking, but it's all new school tech that we use. So the whole game is in 3D, and we apply a pixel shader in post-processing while the game is playing. So that's why you get that fluidity of the gameplay that you do in this game.
You have a certain set of weapons that you start out with, but as you go through, and certain enemies might drop certain things that have different aspects to them. Can you go into a little detail on just like how you can vary your gameplay with the equipment you find?
Oh yeah, so as you're going along, you're killing enemies, they do their weapon drops, those are procedural. So, you may get like 100 damage sword, which will make the rest of your game very easy, potentially. Or you get like a 55, but it has lifesteal and essence and all the kind of, fun things that you can decide which weapon you want to pick up depending on the type of gameplay that you want to have.
Are the levels procedurally generated at all?
No, they are handcrafted, so we are totally curating the entire experience, and there's a narrative story that will go with it. In this demo, you don't get a real sense of that, but once the full gameplay is out there, the end user will really enjoy the story, I think.
The game stays along a certain path. There are certain levels that are made, but you have equipment that could very much change a playthrough.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's kind of, it's the little bit of the fun of the procedural side with that, kind of really, I don't know, there's something about being told a story when you're playing a game that a lot of people are really longing for nowadays, and I think that we're really trying to hit the nail on that one for sure.
Not only do you have the equipment, but you have these abilities. We saw the rush through ability, the area of effect ability, barrier, and heal. Yeah. Will there be further abilities, or are these the set that you'll go through the entire game with?
So you will have a skill tree that you can kind of add to your player experience with the full game, but the kind of main kind of natural abilities, the Nova, the Dash, the Barrier, those are kind of set at this point.
And this could be said to have a little bit of a learning curve when you're jumping in the first time. Is difficulty like a factor for the team, or how are they trying to balance that out?
Right, so difficulty is certainly a factor. We don't want to make it so that it's easy, but it doesn't have to be a headbanger that you never get through this game. We do want people to finish, we do want people to enjoy it. We want to have replayability too, so that's, I don't think that you get good replayability from a game that's frustrating. So it's going to be difficult, but not impossible.
And just out of curiosity, is this a continuous sort of quest through, or is it level based? Or
so there are levels, and you will time travel through the storyline. So you may see levels again, but I don't want to give too much away.